Welcome to the WK Burnouts studio. I'm Christina.
And I'm Dustin.
Alan, behind the scenes, ornery as ever. Today, Dustin.
It's a big day.
It's a big day. You are like excited about this.
Excited
Yes.
about this one. Yeah.
What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about the new 2024 Silverado heavy duty trucks.
2024.
I know, because it's like not even 2023 yet.
So close though, Alan.
It is really close. Yeah. Dangerously close to being 2023. But no, we're not talking about the 23 HDs, which GM will just be building through the month of February. And then they're going to switch on over to the 24s up in Flint, Michigan and start building those. I think it's because they're as excited as I am about the changes that they're making. I'm always excited for like a mid-cycle refresh, you know, because they usually, any stuff that you didn't like on the, it's like they know about it. So they fix it, change it. Stuff
they
you
read
don't
the
like
comments.
about the front end. They do. They must read the comments. Seriously. So the refresh does a great exterior treatment, right? But there's some really big features that come with this refresh that are, especially for your timing, right? So you may already have got the bad news that, hey, 23 orders, if you have a new one right now and you want an HD Chevy, it has to be a 24. They've quit accepting new 23 HD orders because they're just building through the month of February. So
got it.
That's not bad for you. You probably want a 24. This whole new generation of HD trucks has been great.
Oh, yes.
And it's taken off when it comes to like GM's market share, like how many people are driving what heavy duty trucks. It's GM's like, oh, they're doing really, really good. So Chevy and GMC. So it makes sense. They really put a lot of time and effort and energy into this HD refresh. So I talked a little bit about the exterior styling. It looks like there's new front ends on every trim level. So you get a really, really sleek look on the high country, the LTZ, the LT, and those also come with the new interior treatment that you would have seen in the 22 half-tons pickups.
Which I love.
Oh, it's really, really, really good.
It's do. I really do.
And it, you know, I like truck interiors. I like the usefulness of them. I like how utilitarian they are. You know, the big knobs for using when you have work gloves on, stuff like that. Good job. They've still got that usability. You can still tell the start button is not your typical little, it's a good, easy to find, easy to press button. Just all those little things that make it a truck. Even if it's a fancy truck, it's still truck interior.
Sure.
But when you look at the difference between, you know, the current HD interior with the way the screen sits in the dash, it's a night and day difference.
Yes.
I mean, we're kind of going into the big time luxury heavy duty truck interior, and that's on LT and up. So, I mean, that's crazy. Most of the core trucks are going to be LTs, but you know, we've seen a lot of people buying really, really high end heavy duty trucks. They want the special edition and the high country. They've done a couple of things with opening up their special packages to the higher trims. High country can get the midnight edition now.
Oh yes. And the midnight, that's the first one that I saw, that seen the pictures of whenever we were talking about doing, you know, this episode. Yeah. And that's my favorite.
Stunning.
I mean, black exterior, black interior, black wheels, black running boards. I mean, you have your black bed line, you know, just the grill, like everything is just completely blacked out. Yes. So
this is there's so many cool things. I'm like chomping at the bit to tell about. This is another really cool one that's a first for us, and it's a first for, you know, OEM equipment. You've got a 20-inch heavy duty truck wheel, right? Those look great. Kind of, those are old hat now. We want 22-inch truck wheels. And trust me, guys, the tire manufacturers follow suit with this stuff. You're not going to have a factory 22-inch heavy duty truck wheel, and Goodyear's not like, you know, here's your 10-ply tire. Trust me, they're gonna step with that stuff as they always do.
I didn't know there were options.
Yeah,
because I just look and typical, you know, I don't know the specs, the details. I just look and say, I like that one versus that one. So what size are the wheels available on the HD?
So they go up to 22 inches now.
So would they start at 18?
18s.
18, 20, and 22? Okay.
Yeah, the 22 is the big kicker. We just haven't said that's going to look really cool. I mean, the 2 inches more in wheel on a heavy duty truck is a big look. And a lot of people put on, wide aftermarkets, the stuff that slings mud 300 feet in the air and all down the sides of the trucks. Those look cool, but you could still get that same really premium look from your truck without having aftermarket stuff or having to do any changes like that. I think that's going to be really big for a lot of our customers. They want the factory, they want the forged wheels, they want the security of it being, made for the truck, and they'll get that with the 22-inch heavy duty truck wheels. So that's a big deal. Interior's a big deal.
Let's talk about the night.
I knew you were going to want to talk about this.
The blue,
this is pretty cool.
Blue interior,
night shift blue.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. So
I wanted to say night shade, so I knew night shift blue. Yes.
It's really good looking. It's not a bright in your face blue. It is a super rich, subdued blue color throughout. It's seats, dash, door panels. And it is really, really sharp. And we've seen blue interiors. They've come into their own. They look so good on a silver or a white or just a lot of those different lighter colors. The contrast is great.
Yep.
And I mean, if this is where you're spending, a lot of people that drive these high end, like a high country heavy duty truck, that's where they spend that's their office. It's where they spend most of their time.
Yep.
I get it. And people that don't do that kind of work where you're in your truck on the computer or the phone for hours a day, they don't understand. Well, that's a work truck. It should be cut. No, man, I'm not feeding cows in it. I'm doing other work, but I'm in here in this seat.
Right.
It might as well be massaging, right?
Exactly.
Something like that. So it might as well be as nice as it can be. And a lot of people dual purpose their trucks too. That's their family vacation vehicle. They're big because it's big and roomy and spacious and comfortable. So it makes sense. But the new interiors are just really, really exciting. The work truck and custom, from what I've seen from all the spy photos and everything, those will have, like I said, different front end designs. They'll also have the other changes, but they won't have the new interior. They'll have the same interior that the current generation trucks have, work truck and custom.
Okay.
Is what I'm seeing. It's verified on work truck, but custom's still kind of up in the air. Might be some differences, but from what I can tell, that's the way it's going to be, which is fine. Like I said, it's a good utilitarian interior. It has the stuff. It does it. It just doesn't have that flashy piano black like your high country,
right?
With all the trimmings and stuff. So
it's so crazy how, you think even just a couple of years ago, if you got a 1-ton truck or or for construction or for whatever, your option was white.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then your interior was the gray, you didn't have leather, you didn't have, it was just the vinyl, with the floor mat, the vinyl floor. Like that was pretty much, if you were doing it for work, that's what what your option was or what you usually purchase. But now it's insane. The options available. I think there were 6 exterior color options on the 2024 HD and 3 interior.
Yeah, it's going to be really neat. And the looks are one thing, but, and this is in true perfect timing by GM fashion, they've made some really big powertrain changes that I'm super excited about. I think the customers are really going to love. So they took the Duramax diesel engine, they gave it more power. It's got more torque and more horsepower, like 975 torque now.
Yes.
So that's a pretty big jump. But they also gave it a 25% more torque in the low RPM range. Might not sound that exciting.
Explain that.
But that's where you drive your truck. Every time you get in your truck, you take off from the house. You're not like pedal to the metal all the way, revving it out completely. You just take off, right?
Right. Most people do.
Most of the time. Not me. When I pull out of the neighborhood, I mash it every single time.
Move, kids.
Get out of the way. Hold on, kids. But no, where you cruise around town, where you do most of your pulling, when you pull the boat out of the water at the boat ramp, right? It's going to take a big boat to have any kind of an impact on these trucks.
Yes,
but that is the people that with big, gigantic boats like that, this is what you got to have, or you have to hire a semi to move it, I guess, right?
Yes.
So when you're pulling out of the boat ramp, having that torque at the low RPM range means you just walk right out instead of having to really labor it. And then you run a higher chance of spinning your wheels because you're turning more RPMs. So there's a lot of good from more torque in the low end.
Okay.
So that's the Duramax. Still has the same Allison 10-speed automatic transmission.
Mm-hmm.
The gas engine is unchanged. They didn't change the horsepower torque ratings for the gas engine for 2024, but they kicked the 6-speed automatic transmission out, and in its place, they've put a 10-speed automatic Allison. Whoa. That's a good deal. We've been waiting forever for this. Like, there was a period in the early 2000s when... Are you done, Christina? Yeah,
sorry.
Right. She's going to make it. All right.
I was trying to be quiet.
It's okay. It's okay. So there was a period in the early 2000s when you could get a big block. Get a big block in your 3/4 ton truck, and it got the Allison 5-speed transmission back then. And that was pretty cool. That was a big deal. I don't know. Nobody cares about this, but
some
they did
people
that.
do. Yes.
And having driven one multiple times, that's a really, really good setup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of held back our gas engines for the last couple of generations of trucks because they just had kind of a more basic transmission. They didn't have that Allison, that good step down shifting, that good grade braking, shifting and stuff. The Allison is just a slick setup, and it's always been just wonderful in the diesel engine trucks. So now you've got a 6.6 gas engine offering with a 10-speed Allison transmission. That helps it stay in the power range. I mean, the gas engine, since it's not turbocharged like the diesel, it's got more of a power curve that has a certain spot where the torque and the horsepower are at their best, right? It's like right here.
Mm-hmm.
So with that many gears to choose from, it can stay in that range where you've got the best power so you can get down the road the most efficiently.
Got it.
So
I looking up, doing the research, but that's one of the big things about the change in the 2024, and I was trying to figure out, okay, so what's the difference? And one of the things, excuse me, that I read was like horsepower gets you to the whatever, down the road the quickest, but the torque is how far you pull.
Yeah.
Or how far you can pull something.
Torque's the work.
Okay.
Torque's the work. Torque's doing the work. Moving things, stuff like that.
Okay.
So there is you could look at a lot of different definitions of the horsepower versus torque, what's doing what the most. But we know that when you're pulling stuff with your truck, torque is king. Low down torque is the biggest, most important thing for moving those loads around. I mean, you're not totally mashing it, spinning all your tires when you're trying to move your heavy trailer in a parking lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's that torque that just gets it moving, does the job, right?
Okay. What about... We were talking about boat, and it made me think the new camera.
Oh, this is a great one. Yeah, they totally did this up right. And we've messed with this before, and it's a really neat setup. So you got 14 camera views in the new HD trucks. And in years prior, we had the invisible trailer, which was, so you have a rear view camera, you take an accessory camera and plug it into your bumper, and it runs back, it attaches to the back of your trailer and points behind you. The computer stitches those images together and gives you an image of the front of your trailer, but it's see-through, so that you can see through to the back of it. Invisible trailer, right? So you know where the trailer is, you can see the outside lines, but you can see through it, so you can see what's directly behind it.
Right.
Super duper cool.
Yes.
It didn't work with your fifth wheel or your gooseneck. Dang, right?
Yeah. Which... And if you think about it,
the most time you need that, it's going to be with a fifth wheel or a gooseneck. I mean,
you're loading a trailer of horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
you want to know.
Yeah. You're pulling a huge fifth wheel through the mountain. You're trying to back it into the campsite. That's not easy. That's never easy. But it's really, really hard when you have one that big. And I mean, that's a big rig.
Yeah.
So now for 2024, you can have invisible trailer with fifth wheel or gooseneck. That's next level camera technology doing just the right things for towing and hauling. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things you could think are maybe unnecessary. There's not a thing about that system that's, that's nice.
Right.
I mean, that you have to have that reaction, that even if you're the best trailer backer upper on the whole planet Earth, yeah, that's pretty nice though.
I guess there'll be no excuse. We don't have a HD, a heavy duty truck. However, backing the boat up, is something that I have not attempted because you can't see behind you. You can't see through. I'm like, I know I don't even want to try it, but now maybe you can take me out here in the parking lot and we can work on it. Because it'd be much easier for you and I to teach me than.
Because I can't be as mean to you as Rocky.
Right. Then, Rock is not a very good teacher. No.
He's a real nice guy, but they are married. So it makes it I understand.
Like this. Yeah. So I have not ever attempted to back up the boat. So
sure.
This may be an episode.
This could be what does it.
Yep.
So when we look at all the stuff, I know what your favorite thing about it is. The night shift blue interior.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I'm a little torn on what out of all the stuff. I mean, I'm going to be a gearhead 10-speed Allison on the gas engine is my favorite. That's a big deal to me.
Really?
And I think that my excitement over it is compounded by how good the move from 8 to 10 speed with the Allison was a few years back.
Mm-hmm.
It just took it all to the next level, or 6 to 10 speed. Yeah, we went 6 to 10. So just those extra gears, and now thinking about that combined with the really good power curve of the 6.6 gas engine, this is going to be a really neat setup. When you get 19.4 max towing with a gas engine now, that's heavy, and that's kind of what we've been after for a while. That 15,000 pound line that gas used to kind of hang at was right on the line for toy haulers and stuff where they could potentially bump up against that. And they said, well, I guess I need to spend 10 grand more and get a Duramax. And that's fine. I mean, that's a great piece of kit, but 10 grand.
Yeah.
So at this point now you could potentially salvage your setup, with your bigger trailer, your bigger toy hauler, stuff like that, and still roll the gas engine truck, which is great for a lot of different stuff, regular driving and hauling and everything. But having that extra capacity to really pull something very heavy is going to be nice. And overall, any of the new HD trucks with the Duramax diesel, all of them are over 30,000 pounds in 1 ton. If it's a 1 ton truck.
Got it.
So that's saying quite a bit too. If you get your regular cab 2-wheel drive dually, you're at 36,000, right? 36,
yes. That's what I was going to ask. What's how, just like miles per gallon, it's up to, but you have to kind of read the fine print and, but most people that are going to be doing any kind of hauling or trailering, they know what to ask and what to look for. So
exactly.
Perfect.
So but the numbers all went up. The look is better. The new headlights look great. The little C-shaped LEDs. They've got the animations now. All this really trick stuff that came out on the half tons that people were like, we don't need that on a truck. Wait a second. I really like that on my truck. All those things are boom. Now they're on the HDs. I mean, this is making the stuff your own. This is really, this is more than just a work truck.
Right.
This is your work capable, luxury living room on big wheels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so many people are traveling right now. And, in the summertime, you just count on your hands how many people are passing by with a big old boat or a big old camper or a toy hauler or something. Like, people are traveling, people are buying things. They're doing stuff. Yeah. And so I think it's perfect timing for this truck to be coming out.
I think it can really help. So,
Alan, you need to buy.
Oh boy. Alan just held up the
I was going to tell him he needs to
buy
a HD
ZR2.
And he says no, a ZR2.
So they did announce the ZR2 trim on the heavy duty pickups. They have not announced details on what makes this truck a ZR2. Of course, the appearance is going to be one thing, but it's off-road oriented. So there's going to be some other goodies in there that are off-road specific with the ZR2. I would expect it to be similar to the AT4 in the GMC HDs, but man, those things are getting further and further apart. We've seen in the half tons, there's a lot of differences between them. It's not just that they're clones with a different badge.
Right.
That's the way it was for years, but it's not like that anymore. So we're going to have to wait on details on the ZR2 for HD trucks, but that one's going to be probably about this time next year. So fall is when we'll actually see those. But you can expect to see, like I said, they'll finish production in February on the 23 HDs, and then they'll begin shortly thereafter on the 24 HD trucks with the ZR2 to follow later in the year, probably get 6-8 months later.
Perfect. So it just made me think the ZR2, the off-road, because that's kind of the thing now.
Oh gosh, everybody wants to do it.
Hey,
yeah.
Tom has a AT4X. Do you think he would let us take it off?
I can't see why not. Oh, it seems like a no-brainer to me.
Yeah. Alan, get your camera. Let's go.
He should sign right up for that. We could do a whole off-road course.
He'd be like, can I be on there? Can I be in there?
Well, maybe, I guess. Use your truck.
But yeah, the ZR2 off-road reminded me, that people are doing it, I guess, now.
Yeah, they are. They are. And a lot of it's just taking your toys to where you are going to off-road.
Yes.
You ever seen the parking lot for an off-road park?
No.
Yeah, they don't make them all paved and stuff. It's usually a muddy, freaking humongous mess where you need an off-road oriented heavy-duty pickup to pull your trailer with 3 side-by-sides on it out of there.
Which I see quite a few of those.
I know. We see this stuff all. How are they doing this?
I don't know. Where do they go?
Doing all this stuff.
I don't know.
But it's really cool. We're going to figure out how they're all doing this, where they get the money, where they go, and how they fix all their stuff when they break it every single weekend. But
yes.
We'll let you guys know on
just
that.
Just for play.
Yeah, right.
Hey, look, if they have 3, Alan,
we could each drive one. Yeah.
Hey, I'll get my race. I've been trying to race, you guys.
She wants to race really bad.
Really bad.
Not sure.
Alan says no.
Oh. All right.
He says, cut it off.
Cut it off. All right. Well, anyhow, I think that kind of covers our Chevrolet Silverado heavy duty 2024, even though it's not 2023 yet.
Yeah.
But we've explained that stuff. I hope it makes a little bit more sense. We've explained some of the big differences in the truck. Yeah. And I would expect the order guide to be out and ready right after the first of the year. So we'll have pricing and things like that.
Perfect.
We'll keep you guys informed on that stuff.
Perfect. Well, guys, if you found this informative and entertaining, because I'm funny.
Very.
Please, give us a thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe, of course. And again, we appreciate the support, and cruise on by and pick you up next week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
This has been a WK Burnouts production.